Asterisk, in every promise, there is a shadow waiting quietly for its moment to rise. And in episode 24 of Jinn Ki Shadi, that moment finally comes. The world around Rayan and Amira shifts in ways neither of them expect. Old symbols stir, lost memories return, and the ancient promise that once connected two distant worlds begins to breathe again. This is the episode where silence holds more weight than words, and where the future starts to lean in with quiet force. Asterisk for days. The air between the human world and the Jinn world has carried an uneasiness. Rayan feels it first. As he moves across the old boundary lines, the ground hums beneath his feet. The symbols carved into the earth glow faintly, reacting to something unseen. He knows this feeling. It is the same energy described in the oldest scrolls, the energy that signals the awakening of the forgotten promise. Asterisk Amira, far from him, wakes from another night of restless dreams. For the first time, the mark on her wrist pulses with a soft warmth. Not painful, not frightening, just alive. She stares at it quietly, unsure whether it is a warning or an invitation. The room around her feels different, as if someone has stepped through it without being seen. Asterisk Rayan knows he cannot ignore the signs. He returns to the hidden chamber where Elder Zarin waits. Her eyes tell him she has felt the disturbance too. She tells him the seal between worlds is weakening. She tells him the promise made centuries ago by a Jinn prince and a human woman was never completed. And whenever a promise remains unfinished, it tries to complete itself. Asterisk Rayan argues that the past should stay buried, that forcing Amira into a destiny she did not choose is unfair. Zarin, however, believes that destiny has already chosen her. She reminds him that signs do not appear without reason, that Amira's mark awakened because the bond tied to it has reactivated. If the promise rises fully, both worlds will be pulled into its consequences. Asterisk Amira's day unfolds quietly until her surroundings begin to blur. Her hands tremble, though she feels no fear, only a strange calm. The world around her dissolves into an ancient courtyard. Broken pillars line the space. Faded torches flicker with blue flame. In the center stands a figure dressed in ceremonial robes. A woman soft, distant, almost transparent. Amira tries to speak, but no sound escapes her. The figure raises a hand and gently touches the glowing mark on Amira's wrist. The moment their hands meet, light floods the vision. Amira wakes with a gasp, clutching her wrist, the warmth still lingering. Asterisk Rayan finds her just after sunset, standing outside her house, still shaken. This time he does not hesitate. He tells her everything he knows. He explains that her mark is not just a symbol. It is a seal connected to the ancient promise. A promise meant to unite the human and Jinn worlds through two chosen individuals. That promise was interrupted long ago, leaving the seal incomplete. Now, with the growing tension and rising power struggles among the Jinn, the seal has reactivated. Asterisk Amira listens quietly. Her face shows confusion, fear, and something else, a subtle recognition, as if the vision she saw has begun to make sense. She asks the only question she can manage: what does the promise want from her? Rayan hesitates, not because he does not know, but because saying it aloud will change everything. He finally answers. The promise wants completion. And if it awakens fully, she will be bound to the Jinn world forever. Asterisk as his words settle in the air. Silence stretches between them. Amira steps back, trying to understand what this means for her future. She did not choose this bond. She did not seek it. Yet it seeks her now with a persistence that feels almost alive. Asterisk far from them. Deep inside the Jinn territory, shadows gather. The rebel leader Kale stands among them. His eyes follow the swirling sky overhead, reading signs only ancient bloodlines recognize. He knows the promise has awakened. And he sees it not as a symbol of unity, but as a weapon. If he can control the one chosen by the seal, he can control the bridge between worlds. He believes humans weaken the Jinn. He believes merging the worlds will allow his faction to dominate both. For him, Amira is not a person. She is an opportunity, asterisk, as the night deepens, both worlds shift. The mark on Amira's wrist glows again, brighter than before. This time, Rayan reacts too. A faint shimmer runs across his skin, mirroring her pulse. Their connection is now active. Rayan tells her the mark is responding to a presence. Someone has crossed the barrier. Someone powerful. The air around them sharpens like a breath held too long. Off in the distance, the horizon darkens and a shadow stirs. Spreading slowly across the boundary, asterisk Rayan steps forward, preparing himself. He knows this is only the beginning. The promise does not awaken without calling old enemies to its light. Amira, still processing the weight of everything she has learned, watches the horizon with new fear and new clarity. Whatever is coming for her. Asterisk, the final moments of the episode unfold quietly. Amira and Rayan stand side by side, not as strangers, not as unwilling participants, but as two individuals bound by a force older than either of them can fully understand. The wind shifts. A faint whisper, neither human nor Jinn, moves through the night. It sounds like a warning or a call. Asterisk Rayan looks toward Amira with steady calm. He tells her that a storm is approaching, and when it touches them, the promise will decide their paths. She looks back at him, unsure of what awaits them, but certain that nothing will remain the same. The screen fades. The episode ends. Asterisk, the promise awakens. The night does not stay still for long. Moments after the whisper fades, the air thickens with a presence neither Rayan nor Amira has felt before. A deep vibration runs through the ground, soft at first, then unmistakable like a heartbeat echoing through the earth. Rayan turns toward the horizon. The shadows there shift, bending unnaturally, as if something behind them is trying to break through. Asterisk Amira feels her wrist burn faintly. The mark glows once, then settles as if bracing itself. She steps closer to Rayan. She does not speak, but he senses her fear. He tells her not to panic. The boundary is being tested, not yet broken. But whoever is trying to cross it is stronger than the Jinn they have encountered so far. Asterisk, before either of them can move, a soft ripple of light spreads across the sky. It forms patterns, ancient patterns Amira has never seen, but Rayan recognizes immediately. These are symbols used only by high-ranking Jinn, the ones who once served the original prince involved in the ancient promise. This is not the work of the rebels. This is something older. Asterisk Rayan whispers the name of a long-lost guardian Laraf, a Jinn known for watching sacred boundaries, a Jinn thought to have vanished years ago. If he has returned, it means one thing. The promise is no longer just awakening. It is demanding attention. Asterisk Amira watches the sky twist with light and shadow. She senses a presence approaching. It does not feel threatening. It feels observant, as if something is studying her, trying to decide whether she is worthy of the seal she carries. Asterisk. The light slowly condenses into a figure, tall, hooded, made of shimmering smoke and gold. The figure stands directly on the old boundary line but does not cross. Rayan steps in front of Amira protectively. The figure does not react. Instead, it speaks in a voice that vibrates through the air more than it fills it. Asterisk. The seal awakens. The bearer must step forward. Asterisk, the words freeze Amira in place. Rayan shakes his head firmly. He demands to know why Laraf has returned, why the seal is reacting now, why Amira is being called when she never chose this role. The figure remains still, Asterisk, the promise was made by two worlds. The seal does not choose wrongly, the guardian says. But threats rise. Balance breaks. The bearer must be recognized before others claim her. Amira takes a slow breath. Others? She asks softly. Rayan answers before the guardian does. Kale, and anyone who wants the power that comes with controlling the seal. Asterisk, the guardian confirms it. Multiple factions have sensed the awakening. Some want unity. Some want domination. Some simply want to disrupt the balance for their own gain. If Amira is not formally recognized as the rightful bearer, anyone powerful enough could forcefully bind the seal to themselves. Asterisk. Rayan clenches his jaw. He knows what recognition means. It is not a small ritual. It is a binding act. It will tie Amira even closer to the Jinn world. Asterisk. Amira, however, does not flinch. She asks the only question that matters. What happens if I don't step forward? Asterisk. The guardian pauses. The silence itself feels heavy. Asterisk. If you refuse, the seal will remain unstable, and rebels like Kale will not stop until they take it from you. The consequences will spread through both worlds. Neither will remain safe. Amira looks at Rayan. He searches her face, hoping for hesitation, but finds none. Asterisk. She has not chosen this destiny, but she refuses to let fear choose for her. She steps forward. The moment her foot touches the boundary, the ground lights up beneath her. Asterisk. Symbols ignite in a circle, spinning slowly around her. Rayan watches with tension, tightening his breath. He knows the ceremony is ancient. He knows it tests the heart more than the mark. The guardian raises a hand, and Amira feels a gentle pressure around her. A warmth spreads across her chest, calm and steady, almost like someone placing a reassuring hand over her heart. Asterisk. Then the questions begin. These are not spoken aloud. They rise directly into her mind. Asterisk. Do you accept responsibility for the seal? Asterisk. Do you accept the link between worlds? Asterisk. Do you accept the burden of a promise you did not make? Each question hits deep, almost painfully honest. Amira answers with her feelings, not her words. Asterisk. She does not know how to wield power. She does not know the full scope of the promise, but she knows she will not run from it. Asterisk. The light around her brightens. Rayan feels the air shift. The seal is responding to her acceptance. Asterisk. But suddenly, the ceremony trembles. A crack appears in the energy circle. A surge of dark wind rushes through the trees. Asterisk. Rayan steps toward Amira instinctively. The guardian raises his hand to keep him back. From the darkness behind them, a new presence rises, stronger, sharper, filled with intent. Kale's voice cuts through the air, not shouted, not angry, but cold and focused. Asterisk. Enough. The seal does not belong to her. Asterisk. Shadows coil behind him, swirling like smoke infused with fire. His eyes glow with the marks of ancient rebellion, the kind erased from Jinn records long ago. He steps forward with confidence, as if he has waited centuries for this moment. Asterisk. Rayan moves instantly, placing himself between Kale and Amira, but Kale barely glances at him. His attention remains locked on the seal. Asterisk. She is human, Kale says. The promise cannot be completed through her. Asterisk. The guardian responds, calm but firm. Asterisk. The seal has already chosen. Asterisk. Kale laughs softly. Asterisk. Then the seal is weak. Asterisk. The ground shakes as Kale spreads his hand. Asterisk. His power cracks through the symbols glowing around Amira. Asterisk. The air becomes heavy. The lights flicker. The ceremony begins to destabilize. Amira struggles to remain steady. The mark on her wrist glows violently, reacting to the clash of forces. Rayan rushes forward despite the guardian's warning. He catches Amira just as the energy circle begins to collapse. Asterisk, the Guardian and Kale lock eyes. Their powers pushing against one another, the air hums with dangerous tension. Kale's final words echo through the night. Asterisk, the seal will fall. And when it does, the promise will be rewritten. The shadows swallow him, and he vanishes. The Guardian fades a moment later, leaving only a faint whisper. Asterisk, protect the bearer. The storm has begun. Rayan holds Amira tightly as the last of the energy fades. She struggles to breathe. Shaken but conscious, asterisk, the mark still glows. But now it flickers unstable, unsettled. Incomplete. The recognition ceremony has been interrupted. The seal is awake, but not secured. And the danger now moves faster than ever. Rayan looks into the darkness where Kale vanished. Asterisk, the storm has begun indeed.